This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So I was watching an interview with DeBella on Seconds Out, so big up to Radio Raheem. He always manages to get the good kind of content out of his interviewees. Now, he was speaking to DeBella. DeBella, of course, is a legendary boxing promoter, manager. He's been in the game for, 30-something years, and he's been involved in some of the biggest fights in the history of the sport. Now, he was famously fired from Team Wilder for trying to get him a life-changing generational money deal with DAZN to go fight for Undisputed, and for all his efforts he gets fired for that, right? Now, DeBella, he didn't really throw Wilder and that under the bus, but what he has said is basically the truth, that Jontay Wilder took more of a beating against Tyson Fury than what Anthony Joshua did against Andy Ruiz Jr. in New York. Now, anybody with a pair of eyeballs firmly implanted into their head can quite plainly see that is true, because Anthony Joshua only really got mauled in round number 3 and round number 7, ultimately where he got stopped. Much like with Jontay Wilder, things went badly wrong. They were going pretty wrong before round 3, but they went badly wrong from round number 3. And again, he also got stopped in round number 7. There's quite a few comparisons between the two fights. So Joshua, round 3, after he drops Andy Ruiz Jr., and of course round number 7, whereas Wilder, he gets beat up for the entire fight, especially from round number 3. He doesn't do anything except take an absolute mauling. Now, it's good that Deontay Wilder is keeping hold of Mark Breland. At least he recognises that he's got people in his team, such as Mark Breland, who care enough about him to send him home safe to his family. Now, on the previous video that I've done, and if you haven't seen it, that will pop up at the end of this video, so sit tight, that Jontay Wilder, he put out like a battle cry, a war cry to his fans. He's saying, your king is still here, your king will rise, and all this kind of stuff. Now, I didn't mention it in the previous video, and I was meant to, so I'll mention it here. How dare you say and call yourself their king? What he's saying is, you are his peasants. You are beneath him. And if you accept that this guy is your king, shame on you. I mean, how bad is your life that you'll go, yeah, okay, King Wilder. That is disgusting. And by the way, Wilder, take the Muhammad Ali top off of your chest. You haven't earned the right to wear anything of the late, great Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali never got embarrassed the way that you done. He never got his pants pulled down and bare ass smacked the way that you done. He never got his knob and balls castrated the way that you did. Now, moving back on to DeBella, he says that not only did Wilder take more of a beating than Joshua done, but maybe he should look at speaking with Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum about taking a deal. In other words, some step-aside money. Now, first of all, step-aside money it's basically free money to just wait a little while longer. You're still going to get your fight. It's just that you wait a little while longer. You can take a tune-up. You can sit on the sidelines. You can work on whatever it is that you want to do. Okay? And it's very, very good money. So if he was going to get paid 20 or 30 million for the rematch with Tyson Fury, for example, he would probably get step-aside money not too far off that. So basically, he could be getting paid twice. And I agree with DeBella. I think that Jontay Wilder should step aside and maybe garner out a deal that maybe he fights the winner of Joshua Fury. That's what DeBella is getting at. Now, don't get me wrong. You see, I still want Dillian Whyte to have that WBC World Heavyweight title shot. But what DeBella is saying is Fury and Joshua go meet, and then Wilder will fight the winner for Undisputed. But will Wilder do that? I have absolutely no idea. If he was sensible, that's probably what he'd try and do. But there again, Shelley Finkel, he's made it quite clear that he controls Deontay Wilder's career in and outside of the ring. That's what he does. And it's entirely up to Shelley Finkel who it is that Jontay Wilder fights and where he fights and for how much. Now, him going up at some kind of deal with Eddie Hearn to take step-aside money, that's probably the right thing to do. You can use that time to work on new things, maybe bring in some new team members, have a change-up of your team. Personally, I personally would get rid of JD's. Quite clearly, he doesn't have your best interests at heart. He showed that in the post-fight press conference. Maybe bring in some new people and work on some good boxing fundamentals, some basics that may give you more of a chance in the rematch against Tyson Fury. If Tyson Fury, of course, still keeps hold of the belts against Joshua. Yes, it's a risk. Yes, it's a case of Tyson Fury. He did do and beat Deontay Wilder first time round and got screwed to a draw, but he comprehensively beat Wilder in the rematch. So most people are feeling that Fury would do exactly the same, if not worse, to Wilder in the rematch if Wilder doesn't make any kind of improvements. So I would certainly use this kind of time to do something. But as I was about to say there, it is a bit of a risk because maybe Fury loses to Joshua. Then he ain't going to get that rematch and win his belt back, or his former belt back, Sophia, who's been rescued SAS style. He ain't going to get that particular belt back against the guy who defeated him. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But of course, the whole world would love to see Joshua Fury for undisputed. And of course, there's many other things that we'd all like to see as well. A lot of people, well, some people would actually like to see the rematch between Fury and Wilder for a third time. A lot of people, well, in fact, a hell of a lot of people would love to see Tyson Fury and Dillian White. Then the winner go fight Anthony Joshua. A lot of people want to see Joshua go fight Alexander Usyk. So there's quite a few other things that we can look at, so it's not all doom and gloom if you don't get the undisputed fight. But anyway, Lou DeBella, he's saying that Jontay Wilder should maybe look to make a deal with Eddie Hearn. He took more of a severe beating at the hands of Tyson Fury than what Joshua done against Andy Ruiz Jr., and he's not advising him to take the rematch. Anyway, that's Lou DeBella's statement. Link in the source in the description box below. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.